Hello everyone, this is Texant and welcome to today's video. Today we'll be building the Hangman game in Python. So let me tell you what this Hangman game needs to look like. First, we need to set up the secret word. Next, we need to establish two lists. First list will store the correct guesses and the second list will store the wrong guesses. Next, we need to establish the lives of the player. Actually, player has 6 lives. Next, we need to make the player guess. After that, we need to check the user's guess. If wrong, user loses lives. Last, we need to tell the user if they won or not. Sounds fun to code, so let's do this. I'll start by defining a function. I'm gonna name it hangman. And right now, I'm gonna declare a variable. I'm gonna name it secret word. I'm gonna store inside of it the secret word. Let's say it is Python. Next, I want to convert this variable into a list. List of secret word is equal to, I'm going to use the typecasting, so list, and I'm going to mention the variable name. Now you'll know why I need to convert it into a list later on. As I said, we need two lists. One will store the correct answers and one will store the wrong answers. So correct will be a list and wrong will be also a list. Both of them are actually empty lists right now. Next, I need to establish the lives of the player. So lives equal to the number 6. So player has 6 lives. Now as long as the lives of the player is not 0, I want him to keep on guessing. So I'll say while lives of the player, of course, is greater than 0, the player can guess. So I'll write in a variable, I'll name it input or user input, let's say. User input. And the user shall input a string. So input, actually not a string but a letter. So I'll say guess a letter. But maybe the user accidentally gave me a string. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna tell Python to fetch only the first element of the user's string and store it in the user input variable. So with this bracket, and I mentioned the value 0, I'll be fetching the first element in the string. But what if the user gave me a uppercase letter? Well, I would convert it into a lowercase. By mentioning the dot lower, it is a built-in function in Python which will transform a uppercase letter into a lowercase letter. So, next, I need to loop in inside this list to check if the user gave me a letter similar to those letters inside of this list. Inside of this list, we have P alone, Y alone, T, H, O, N, and so on. So I want to check if the user gave me a correct answer. For I in list of secret words, I'll say an if statement. So if I equal user input, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna append the correct answer to the list called correct. So correct dot append, and I'm gonna append the user input. Next, I'll print for the user. Let's say the username is John. So I'll say John from now on. So I'll tell John, well done. Okay. You guessed the letter, let's say the letter. And I'll mention the letter name, which is user input. So what he inputted. Next, I want to be able to tell John how many letters left. So let's say he guessed P. 5 letters left because Python have 6 letters. So if he guessed P, 5 left. How should I say it to John? What I can do is I could say print len of lst of secret words, list of secret words, minus the len of the correct list. So correct list. Of course, the len of the list of secret words is 6, but the len of the correct list is 1 because they have only P inside of this list. 6 minus 1 is 5, so 5 letters left for John to guess. So I'll say something like this, letters left. Now what if I isn't equal to user input? I'll say else, but you'll know why I'll be changing the position of else later on. So at the moment, let's say else over here. I'll append the wrong answer to the wrong list. So wrong.append user input. Next, I want to decrement the lives of the player. Lives minus equal to 1, so I'm decrementing the life variable by 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay. Then I want to print something for John. I'll say wrong letter. Then I want to tell John how many letters left. So I'll copy paste this one and I'll paste it over here. But before we continue, I forgot to mention the break keyword, because when John guesses a correct answer, I want to be able to get out of the loop and start a new round. Okay, that is the break keyword, and that's why I put it right here. Now I'll get out of the for loop and I will write a condition. If len list of words is equal to len of correct list. So what I'm doing here, when the user, or John let's say, guesses all the letters correctly, definitely the length of the correct list will become 6, because PYTHON are 6 letters. So that means the length of this list will be equal to this one. So eventually John guessed all the letters correctly, because we are appending only the correct letters to this correct list. So what I'll print here is, I'll print user, you've guessed the word Python. And I'll say secret word, which stands for Python, definitely. And what I'm gonna say next, I'll print the correct list for the user. So I'll print correct answers, and I'll mention the correct list. Next, I'll mention the wrong answers. So wrong answers will be the wrong list, of course. So I'm gonna mention it wrong over here. Next, I need to break out of the while loop because the user guessed the word. So I'll write break. But there's another condition I want to write. I'll say if lives equal to 0. So let's say the user finished all his lives. Definitely the game should end and the user will be hanged. So I'll print something like this. User, comma, you are hanged. You are hanged. And definitely he's the hangman. Then I'll print for the user the secret word. Print the secret word was, and I'll write secret word, which refers to the variable secret word which stores Python. Then I'll copy paste the correct answers and the wrong answers from this condition above. So I got them over here, and definitely I will break out of the loop because the user lost. So I'll write down here hangman. And right now it should work. Let's see. Guess a letter. So nothing happened. Okay, let me guess a letter. Let's say G. Oh, why did we got all of this? There's something wrong with our code. So wrong letter, 6 letters left. Wrong letter, 6 letters left. Oh, you know what? Let me just print how many rounds left for the player. So I'll say here, down here, let's say, print lives left, and I'll print lives. It says wrong letter. Of course, there's no G in Python. Wrong letter, 6 letters left, lives left, 5. Of course, I decremented the life by 1. But the problem is that it kept on decrementing my life until it became 0. But why? First, G is not in this string Python. We don't have G inside Python. So this condition will always evaluate false. Python will jump to the next condition, which is else. So it will print me first wrong letter, then it will print me how many letters left, then it will print me how many lives left. But look at here, it is decrementing my life. So we have 6 letters in Python, and for each iteration, the first iteration will be P. P isn't equal to G, so it will jump to this else statement and evaluate the block of code. Next we have Y. Y is not equal to G, so it will jump to this else statement another time and evaluate all this code. What to do is, I'm gonna indent this else, so this else belongs to this for loop. So I'm gonna indent all the code. Now, what do you think and why did I do this? Okay, let's say I inputted G. For I in LST, I will start with P. Okay, this condition will evaluate false. G is not equal to P. Well, definitely it won't jump to this else statement because this else statement belongs to the for loop, not for the if. So, it will jump to the next iteration. I is equal to Y. Well, nothing will happen. This condition will evaluate false. So, it will go to the next iteration. All the way to it finishes in N. It will jump out of the loop and print the else statement. So when Python finishes the for loop, it will print for me the else statement, which will come over here. But let's say the user guessed the correct answer. When it will break out of the loop, Python will jump out of the for loop, but definitely won't print the else statement. So let me prove this to you. Okay, I'll guess a wrong letter G. Well, we didn't got the same process that we got earlier because I indented this else, and this else right now belongs to the for loop. So let's say guess a letter, I'll say Y. Well done, you've guessed the letter Y, 5 letters left, that's good. And let's guess the letter T, 4 letters left, okay. Now let me guess, or let me input a string, I'll say P and people, let's say, I'll say people. We know that the P is a correct letter. Well done, you've guessed the letter P. Why? Because Python fetched the first element of my string. Okay, let's say I gave a capital or uppercase O. Do you think it will work? Well done, you've guessed the letter O. So, why this O is lowercase and I gave it an uppercase? Because I converted it into a lowercase letter. Nice. Let's say I say, I don't know, F. Wrong. Lives left are 4. Let me just raise the window. Okay. Lives left are 4. I'll say N. Okay, N is correct, so 1 letter left. So the last letter is, of course, H. And I won. So, let's see. User, you've guessed the word Python. Yup. Correct answers. So, YTPONH. So it gives us the correct answer and the wrong answers. So I guessed G and F, which were wrong answers. So let's say the user didn't guess any of the letters. So I'll say F, G, H. Oh, H is correct letter. Okay. C, V, and lives left only 2, and we have 5 letters left. I'll say B, 1 life left. Let's say L. Boom. Loop terminates. Lives left equal to 0. User, you are hanged. The secret word was Python. The correct answer is H, and the wrong answers are the following answers. And there you have it. That is the Hangman game in Python. That brings us to the end. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This is Texent, and I recommend that if you're a beginner in Python, you need to check out this playlist on Python tutorials for beginners. Well, I'll see you there.